technically all you need for breastfeeding is a boob or two, but there are a couple of things that make it a little bit easier, so I thought I'd share those with you. So for context, I have been either pregnant or breastfeeding for the last 5.5 years now. I have a 4-year-old and I have a 7-month-old. I fed my 4-year-old until she was 3.5 when I was 5 months pregnant with her sister, and my supply dried up, and now obviously second baby is now nearly 8 months old and we're still going. First thing you're going to need is nipple cream. They say breastfeeding shouldn't hurt, but for those first couple of weeks it does get quite sore, and I think that's just because your nipples probably are not used to that much attention that your baby is latched for, sometimes hours and hours at a time. Nipple cream really helps to soothe that. There are a lot of different types. I used the Lanaso one with both of mine. I'll link all of this stuff down below so that you can find it. But yeah, there are different ones. This one is the one that I use both times. Admittedly, I didn't have to use it for too long, but I did have to use it a couple of times and it does help. Next on the list are breast pads. I use the reusable ones at the moment. I have used disposable ones in the past. The disposable ones, I find that I leak quite a bit and then they become like full of gel and weird and everything, and I would get through like 2 or 3 pairs a day, whereas with the reusable ones I can just stick them in the wash and use them again. Obviously much better for the planet. Some people don't leak, or they don't leak much. For me, with Isabel, my eldest, I think I had to use them for like 2 years. With Cecily, I'm still using them now. She's about 8 months. I have quite a fast letdown and a little bit of an oversupply, so I do have to use them still, and I would definitely recommend having them in your must-have kit. Next on the list is nursing bras. So these tend to be like quite plain and just, you know, there's not really anything to them. There might be really nice ones out there, I don't know, I've never looked. I've gone for ease of access and comfort. So nursing bras will have the clip here and then it pulls down so that you've got access to boob. These ones I just got from Amazon. They came in like a pack of 3. I had the same ones with Isabel and I just decided to get them again because, like I said, they're comfortable, they've done the job. Obviously they get a lot of wear out of them. We're nearly 8 months in now, still using them, but it's just essential because if you've got a normal bra on, not only is it going to stretch out, but as you try and pull it down, it tends to like get stuck under the boob and then yeah, it's uncomfortable. So you need nursing bras, and I've always said over the years that I don't see the point of actual specific nursing clothes because there's so many just normal clothes that you can get that give you easy boob access. I did buy some nursing clothes this time and I don't like them. I find that they're awkward. Like if you've got zips on them, it's awkward to try and get the boob out. I've got like ones where your bits lift up, like this top that I've got on here underneath this one is a nursing one and it's just awkward trying to get everything out. So for me, I always think that you just need to buy normal clothes that you can use for breastfeeding, so things like button down or zip through, double layering where you've got one top on and you lift that up and then you can just use that to cover up if you want to. Like dungaree type style tops work quite well, but nursing specific clothes seem to be quite expensive, and for me I don't see that they bring any benefit to it. Next is the Next to Me. We still have ours set up there. We are just about to change that out for a cot and sidecar that on because Cecily still wakes up in the night. I mean, all babies want to be close to their mum, but breastfeeding babies are just like on another level. They tend to wake up more often in the night, so if you've got them there next to you, it's easy. I think some people say that they tend to just sort of put a boob in the bed. I've not tried that because I'd probably just fall in, but having the Next to Me there just means that they're closed. You can just pull them in and out as much as you want to without having to get out of bed. My first was a co-sleeper. She gave up on her Next to Me when she was about 4 months old. Cecily is still in hers. She does come into bed with me from about 4 o'clock sometimes. I'm trying to avoid full-on co-sleeping this time just because sleeping on a floor bed for a long time got very uncomfortable with Isabel. But with the Next to Me, you obviously need like your mattress protectors and your sheets, and get a mattress protector for your bed as well because feeding a baby is messy. Then I've got a bedside cart. I didn't have this with Isabel. I wish I had it done. I got one with Cecily. So in the early days, it's great for having everything you need. You do end up spending a lot of time either in bed or on the sofa, unless you can really master walking around breastfeeding. I've never mastered that. But having a cart with everything on it was great because it's just like moving next to the bed. I can have nappies, change of outfits, muslins, everything on it that I need. Extra long charger. You do end up being boob trapped and nap trapped quite a lot, and there's nothing worse than being stuck there with nothing to do. So if your phone dies, that's awful. Although saying that, actually it is worse if you need a pee. But get yourself an extra long charger. So this I think is like a 1.5 meter one. They do 2 meters just so that I can plug it in and have my phone charging, you know, when I'm on my 78th wake up of the night. And with that as well, get yourself some entertainment, because like I said, you could be there for hours. So whether that's your phone, Kindle, TV, laptop, whatever, make sure you've got stuff that you can do because you are there a while. I managed to master lying down feeding with both of mine so that I could rest a bit. And then obviously I've got my phone and my Kindle. But yeah, you don't want to not have anything to do because it can be very boring. And also snacks, make sure you've got plenty of snacks as well, because you get the breastfeeding hunger and then you can't move to get a snack. So it's always worth just making sure that you've been to the toilet, you've got snacks, you've got entertainment, you've got a big bottle of water before you sit down. Easier said than done, but you do get used to doing that. You need a little night light. This one is like a portable one. It just changes colour. It's got various different settings, but you can have different colours on it. Again, I had this with Isabel. It's just got a little USB charger on it, but you need to be able to see what you're doing. Next on the list is muslins. So Cecily is a very refluxy baby. She's not so bad now that she's almost 8 months, but to start with, she was really, really bad. Isabel wasn't as bad, but we use muslins with both of them. They're great for using as bibs, for clearing up sick, or for mopping up spit up. There's been a few times where I have had to use them actually in my bra because we've gone from like up feeding every 2 hours to sleeping through the night and my boobs are just like, what's going on? So we get a lot of leakage. Did you use them for everything? I said with Cecily that I wasn't going to pump because with Isabel I had to pump for the first 10 weeks before she would latch, and I didn't want to do it again. Cecily ended up losing quite a lot of her birth weight in the first couple of days because she had a really, really bad tongue tie, and I ended up having to pump because I didn't want to top her up with formula. With Isabel I used just like a normal handheld electric pump because the portable ones are really expensive, but I think a patent has run out somewhere and now they're a lot more affordable. So when I needed to do it this time, I just picked up a wearable one. So this was like a budget one from Amazon. I think it was maybe like £60, double wearable one, because I didn't want to spend loads on it. One, I didn't want to be pumping forever, and two, I didn't know whether I was going to get on with it. But this one was great, and if you are going to get a breast pump, get a wearable one because it's a completely different experience. I had a single one last time and it would be like pump on one boob, pump on the other boob, just sat there, not really able to do anything, only one hand. You just do both at the same time and you've got hands free as well. And I think some of the marketing says that you can just like get on with your everyday life and stuff. I don't feel like you can do a lot of stuff when you've got them in there, because if you lean forwards the milk spills out, but you can, like I've dried my hair and I've like, you know, done a bit of work and stuff while it's been on there. So they are definitely worth it if you're going to get a pump. And then obviously if you are pumping, you are going to need somewhere to store it. You can get disposable like milk storage bags, which are like plastic, single-use plastic, or you can get reusable ones. I've tried both of them, like different circumstances call for different things. I'll link them both, the ones that I use, down below, because obviously you need to be able to store that milk. You can store it directly into a bottle and then put it in the fridge, but then you end up needing like 8 bottles, so that doesn't really work out very cost effective. So then obviously if you are going to be pumping, you need bottles. We use the MAM self-sterilising bottles for both of them because they're just easy. I mean, I haven't really tried other bottles, but with the self-sterilising ones you don't need to buy a separate steriliser and everything. And the rules for breast pumps I think changed a couple of years ago, so you don't need to sterilise those either. You just literally have to wash them and that's it. So having the MAM ones means that there's no massive steriliser sitting on the counter, and obviously that expense as well. And the last thing you need is support. Obviously I said that I had issues with Isabel. She didn't latch for the first 10 weeks. So when I had Cecily, I thought I knew what to look for. I'd done 3.5 years of breastfeeding, and Cecily latched straight away, and she was, you know, having big feeds and everything, but she still managed to lose a lot of her birth weight. And we didn't know what was going on. And it was just simply because although she was latched, she had such a bad tongue tie that she wasn't strong enough to actually get any milk out. So it looked like she was feeding, but nothing was happening. And if it wasn't for the infant feeding team at the hospital, we wouldn't have got to the bottom of that, because when we were in paediatrics, they were like, no, just top her up formula, just top her up with, you know, breast milk if that's what you're going to do. So without the infant feeding team and their support, the breastfeeding journey would never have happened. And you're also going to need support from your partner or your family. I've got a 4-year-old who obviously needs a lot of attention, and if I'm feeding Cecily, Isabel needs to be entertained, so John takes on a lot of that, and he did in the early days. Obviously it's not so bad now, Cecily doesn't feed as much, but you definitely need to have that sort of support there with you from your family and your partner. And also like groups on Instagram and Facebook. So you've got Boobing It on Instagram. I've been like part of that community for a long time, and Breastfeeding and Lactation Support UK on Facebook as well. Like there's no situation that you could go through with breastfeeding that someone hasn't already experienced. So they are fab, and again I'll link them in the description so that you've got easy access to that. But that's everything that I've got on my list, guys. As I said, I've been doing this for quite a long time now, and these are the things that I've used to get me through that journey. But thanks for watching. Bye.